Yeah.
Let's go. We ride in Jesus' name. Bring Jesus in and shame. Declare Jesus to the end.
Well, good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So it's day number 8 of the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour, RECT, Get Wrecked for Recovery, a bicycle trip up the Atlantic coast of America to raise awareness that there are addiction recovery options available, that you don't have to die in your addiction. There's churches, Celebrate Recoveries, and rescue missions all over the nation, all over the world, that just want to help you, talk to you, and love you if you find yourself battling addiction. So, I'm here at the church that I stayed at last night. Oh man, it was gorgeous. It was like a little piece of Eden on earth. Just beautiful property. Really enjoyed my stay here. So thankful for Steve and his gracious extension of love in offering me a safe place to be. So yeah, getting on the road today, going over to Miami Beach. That's about 17 miles away from where I am now. Gonna hug A1A up the coast. Been talking to Recovery Unplugged in Fort Lauderdale. Don't know if I'm going to be able to speak to anyone there or not, but we'll see. And yeah, I'm just going to keep trying to make it as far north as I can. Spring break is coming up quick, and so my wife and kids may possibly be able to visit me when I get to St. Augustine, which means I need to do about 50 miles a day. No, it's not too bad on the flat Florida roads to get there in time. So we'll just kind of see how it goes, see if it all works out, and yeah, I'm excited. Let's go. Okay, so quick update. Yesterday while it was raining, I didn't record anything, but I went to a bike shop and got a new chain. I've been about 1,000 miles on this bike so far, so I don't want to ruin the cassettes by having a stretched chain. But when they ran the chain, they ran it on the outside of this metal tab, so it was coming out and around and then up onto the gear. And it wasn't affecting it in the gears that I was in. It was, you know, super low. But when I would try to shift to a real high gear, it would kind of like chatter and clack. And so I recognized it yesterday, just decided I'm not going to use those gears. I'll get to a bike shop today. Called all the bike shops in Miami. No, you know, we don't have time for that. And so that's one, you know, big surprising thing about a big city is there's so many customers. They don't really have the time, whereas the Bill and Ted's Excellent bike shops out there in the middle of nowhere, while they might not have all the parts, they do have the time. You know, I went into so many places out west where they would stop everything they were doing to help a cycle tourist. So not quite the same here in Miami. Anyway, came to this bike shop here and asked them, you know, if they could help out, and they said, you know, their mechanic wasn't coming in until 2 o'clock. So I just sat out here and did it myself. Got it completely fixed. Yeah, good to go. I've got to, you know, still do like some minor shift adjusting. But I adjusted the front derailleur, the rear derailleur, changed that cog up, oiled the chain. However, one thing I ran into is when I went to pump my tires, this Lezyne pump is leaking. So right here at the glass, where the pressure goes in, it's leaking air, so I'm not getting a good reading on my pressure, and it's not wanting to fill all the way. So anyway, I do have to find one of those. They did not have that here. I'm headed down the road. Hopefully somebody's got it. Either way, now it's almost noon, so I'm way behind, but I'm right on God's time, so I'm gonna keep going. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Man, what a beautiful day it is over here. What a terribly stormy day it is over here. It's just now starting to rain on me, and it feels so good. You can see the cruise ships way back here docked. Really just a beautiful view. Coming down into Miami here on Biscayne Bay has been just a stunningly gorgeous ride. So yep, I am headed that way though. Got to get across the bay here over to the South Beach and Miami Beach area, so I'm gonna keep on making my way that way. Okay, so I stopped here at Miami Beach Bicycle Center and I got a bunch of stuff. I ended up getting some chain tape, like chain stay tape, the clear tape that protects the chain stay from chain slap. I had noticed the chain starting to, you know, leave tiny little nicks in the clear coat, so rather than allow that to continue, I went ahead and got some of that. Went ahead and got a new bike pump here. So I went with a Topeak, still don't know how to pronounce that name. And it's one of those that like pumps when you pull it in and when you push it out, so it's a little bit faster. I tried it out before I put it on the bike. What else did I end up getting? I got some new oil, and I also a piece on my like end cap for my crank, my pedals where my bottom bracket was like cracked in half. Not quite sure what happened there, but they had a new one of those. So all in all, $200 day on just between the chain yesterday and all these different things today, but they're necessary to keep going. Everything's in good condition though now. I don't have anything that I lack, so I'm so thankful for everybody from Ends of the Earth that donated, because I actually had it to be able to cover some of those things. Still got a little bit to pay back on the bike, but I'm still in like green as far as you know, camping and food and the actual living part of the ride is concerned. So yeah, now I gotta find where I'm gonna camp and eat. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Love you guys. See you later. Well, South Beach is definitely everything that I've seen in all the pictures. Hopefully there's some people that I can talk to when I stop for lunch here. Be praying for divine appointments. Alright, so I'm riding down. I still haven't stopped and got any lunch yet. Dinner. Something there in the middle of those two, but I'm going to swap to some video of what I'm riding through. I'm coming up on North Beach here, and there's an island over here to my left. And the amount of wealth that is stored up on this island is ridiculous. Like, there are huge yachts, just crazy architecturally designed houses, Mediterranean style houses, modern art style houses, Art Deco, Spanish colonial. Like, there's no limit, it seems, to the wealth over on the left side of where I'm at. And it's just strange to me to see it and to wonder what it was like in Jesus' day. You know, when he told the lawyer who came up to him and asked, you know, what must I do? I've followed the law. I've done everything I'm supposed to do. And I mean, you know, I believe the guy. Look, Paul said he was a Pharisee of Pharisees, as touching the law, blameless. So I get it. Like, some of those people from birth, the Jews, like, specialized in not breaking commandments. I mean, but, you know, I'm not saying they were sinless by any means, but this guy was in some sort of position to be able to say, I've kept all these things from my youth. And Jesus kind of comes straight across the bow, shoots straight across the bow at him and says, go sell everything you have. Give it to the poor. You know, follow me. Then you'll have treasure in heaven. And he walked away sorrowful because, you know, the possessions that he had were much. And I just wonder what the quality of life of some of these people is. You know, a lot of them, I can honestly say it's been like a party atmosphere almost since I got to South Beach. People riding around in Maseratis and Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces, and, you know, tops dropped. This flagrant show of financial gain. And I'm sure that, you know, a lot of them are philanthropical, but I just wonder what Jesus saw that made him say, you know, what about this in your life? And, you know, I'm glad that in Matthew in the Beatitudes, he talks about, you know, blessed are the poor. You know, all those blessings are conditional on being in those categories. It's not something that just everybody gets. You know, you have to be a peacemaker, or you have to be poor, you know, to be able to receive those. Anyway, it's just kind of my little thought from the road here as I'm meditating today and seeing this, you know, coming from Florida City into Miami yesterday and seeing just abject poverty. People sleeping on the side of the road, shopping carts as their entire home next to them. And now this, just abundance of material wealth, when literally 20 miles away from these people are people who are dying in the streets tonight. Like, it's mind-boggling. You know, I feel like we as the church have really fallen short in the type of giving we should be doing. You know, me personally, one of the first things I do is, you know, well, he probably doesn't need it because, you know, he's sitting here at this corner. He probably makes money all day long. And while that may be true, I just wonder. I wonder what the kingdom of heaven is going to be like, where, you know, the streets are made of gold and wealth is not the determining factor of social status, but how you lived your life here when you gave up social status and wealth for the kingdom. You know, that's what stores up the treasures in heaven. That's how, you know, we'll look around at our friends in heaven and see what they've accumulated because of what they chose to give up. This is just so temporal and fleeting. You know, one major catastrophe or disaster and all this is gone. Man, it's heartbreaking almost. You know, if the sea level rose 10 feet, every bit of this is flooded. And, you know, the people who need it the most are overlooked. So I guess this was kind of just a conversation with myself, a little bit of soul searching and how I can give more of myself. Because right now, I don't feel like I'm giving enough. And so, if anybody else, if you share in the same compassion or empathy or whatever it is, the thought process that I'm going through here, then my heart is with you, because there's so many people who need us. And I think that, you know, time is too short to be focused on building anything here. Anyway, that was probably a long rant. I'm going to include it in the video just because it was one of those spirit-led moments that I felt I needed to talk about. But yeah, I love you guys, and let's find a way to really give more of ourselves, me included, to love on the lost and the poor and the brokenhearted and the captive and the blind. We can do this, you know. I think it's time that the church steps up and we do this right, the way that it's supposed to be done. So, anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you later. All right, so much longer video today than normal. Sorry about that, but I had to get that off my chest earlier on the bike. Just stopped and ate that pizza. It was fabulous. I'll swap the camera around so you can see what I'm... Yeah, this one's gonna be a good one. Got boats all out in the bay. Sun's about to come down below the clouds. I'm excited about that. So I got in touch with the state park across the river, asked them about camping. They said, oh no, we don't do tent camping. We've got cabins for rent. They're all booked. I said, where's close that I can? He said, Haulover Beach. I said, great. Looked it up. Not so great. As long as I stay at the south end, that's fine. But the north end is clothing optional. So, not going there. But I will probably camp there. Just not anywhere even in sight of the clothing optional section. And I will camp fully clothed tonight. Probably not even going to put anything out. May just hang the hammock up on 2 trees if I can find them and sleep. So I'm going to go to bed early and get up early and just try to make as many miles as I can tomorrow. And we'll see how it goes. You know, we'll just see how it goes. I never really know, but I think I only did 30-something miles today, which is fine after that 62 yesterday. Today was nice and slow. A lot of bike shop stops, those kind of things. And yeah, I appreciate all your prayers, your donations, your support, everything that you've done. You know, this ministry is not possible without God first and then others. And you guys are what make this happen. So yeah, again, big day with funds. It was $200 worth of stuff between Key Largo and here. But that's okay. God will provide, and He does it every time. So, yeah, if you know anyone who's passed away from addiction in any form or fashion, please drop their name in the comments. You know, or find me through the Papa link below. You can find every type of way you want to contact me. All the things that you can follow: Instagram, TikTok. I'm going to start a TikTok on this ride. Yeah, just all the follow options are there. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal for donation purposes. My testimony's written out in a Word document on there. And the IGO link, you can find more about the Cody Jordan Forever Funeral Fund, and you can also donate the nonprofit side there with a tax-deductible receipt if that's what you need. But yeah, I'm just blown away at what God has done and this creation that He's created. It's so neat, so neat. So many people. It's just beautiful. But that's enough of me talking. I'm going to go ahead and cut and edit this video while I'm sitting here because I've got probably an hour till the sun sets, maybe a little less. And then I'm going to find somewhere to sleep for the night. So I'll go ahead and knock this out while I'm sitting here. And I've got 5 bars of 5G on this new phone, so uploads are fast when I've got it. So I'm going to take advantage of that and get this video out to y'all as soon as possible tonight. And then get some rest. Probably a big day tomorrow, just don't know. Didn't get in touch with Recovery Unplugged, but I hadn't made it to Fort Lauderdale, so I'm kind of glad that didn't work out. But I'll be going through there tomorrow, Lord willing. So yeah, from here at the beautiful Haulover Park. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you later. Have a good night.